Okay guys, so Puree. This is a really, really good starting point, okay? Super smooth, really silky puree. A squash, banging season, like these little pumpkins. You know, it's a great starting point. Something to think about is when you cut these things open, you know, they are all squashes, pumpkins, but the texture and the flavour can be massively different. So, you know, have a play. Just get yourself into the shops and just maybe get 2 or 3, you know, and make different things with them. You can use them in risottos, soups are really good, in casseroles, loads of different things. What we're doing today is a puree, okay? I'm going to use some for the ravioli as well. So I've got a roasted butternut squash. For this, what's really good is roasting it, because what it does is it intensifies the flavour. Plus, when you roast it in the oven, you're not adding water to it. If you're boiling it in a pan, you're adding water, and you don't want excess water in the vegetable. That's how you get the best flavour out of your vegetables, from roasting, okay? So I'm just going to cut that in half, and that bottom part there, if you can see that there, that's where the seeds are. So I'm just going to cut the main body from the bottom there, okay? So within there are seeds, and this part will be softer. So this part I can use for my ravioli, and this part I can use for my puree, okay? Now the other great thing is when you roast it, getting the skin off is so easy, you know? So anyone who struggles with like mobility with the hands, actually, you know, if your nan struggles and you're like, she says, oh, you know, I love a butternut squash, but I can't eat it because I can't cook it. Just say, nan, stick it in the oven. 180, 40 minutes to, I don't know, an hour, depending on the size, and it's ready to go. So there we've got the seeds in the middle, and something to think about with that is that, you know, they can be sort of dried out, roasted, put on top of soups or in salads. It works really well. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, bit of chili on there. Fantastic. Okay. So really, you know, using purees, it's just a great way to add a real sort of strong flavour, a real intense flavour, a real smooth difference in texture. Some people, you say about using, like, you know, culinary purees on dishes, it brings up ideas of baby food, you know, but this is something different. It's full on flavour. It's a really nice way to explore an ingredient in more than one way as well, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this roasted squash through the sieve into the bowl, and then I'm going to adjust it from there, okay? The reason why this works is because it really breaks down the structure and really smooths it through, okay? Taking away any lumps, you might want to pass it twice. Normally with a butternut squash like this, once we'll get a really smooth texture, okay? And it is all about that smooth texture. If you're going to do a puree, make sure it's smooth. So at this stage, you know, you may be thinking, oh, what else can I put in this? Herb oils would be good if you've infused some herb oil, some garlic oil maybe, just a little bit, just to give it a bit of a kick. You could use some truffle oil, okay? Just experiment with the flavours in there. The great thing about something like this, thinking about that flavour of the squash, you know, it's a bit earthy, it's sweet. It'll take a lot of different flavours, especially spices. That's a really good bit of advice. Wherever you've got that sweetness, that natural sweetness, spices work really well. Okay. Just taking it off the bottom there. Be very careful not to transfer any lumps from the inside of that into what's here now. So I'm just cleaning off my spoon there, and my spatula, just to make sure, okay? So I'm adding just a little bit of whole milk. It's obviously got a higher fat content. Okay. If I'm adding semi-skimmed, it's just adding more water. But by adding whole milk, it's adding a bit of richness to it as well, okay? Every ingredient that I'm using, I'm thinking about why I'm using it. Mix together, a little bit of seasoning. And you'll see that I'm just sort of crushing the sea salt into there to break up any of these larger granules or particles. Giving that a stir through just to season it up. And then of course, always tasting. You know, it's so sweet. You can really tell that it's been in the oven and it's been roasted. If that had just been boiled, there'd be no comparison. To just taste watery. I challenge you, get one, half roasted, half boiled, puree, taste the difference, yeah? Done.